Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Moving the Magnets for the game between Collingwood and St Kilda at Marvel. Finally, it seems like the game is starting to come around the corner. I'll take anything at this point. I'll take anything at this point besides a Fremantle versus Essendon game on a Thursday night. Beyond me, look, I'm sorry to throw the first thing that I throw in this show is just, why do Essendon have that many Thursday nights? But anyways, that's not for us to worry about. We're here for Saturday. Brazzi and Lipinski did train the full session today. However, in Fly's presser, which I assume some of you may or may have not had a look in, had a listen, Brazzi needs a couple more weeks of conditioning, particularly around, just general match conditioning, right? So we're going to nurse him, and then Lipinski seems like he's good to go. So I wonder now, I suppose it's out of Hayes and Sullivan who goes out. And I feel like we could certainly make a case. Now hear me out. We could make a case for both players playing this weekend, right? So let's play the Sullivan angle, right? Right, I sound like Manny now, right? Far out. Having him on way too much. So, with Sullivan, a little bit older, probably a bit more acquainted with the role that he's asked to play. Those are the two main things in keeping Sullivan within the side on Saturday. His ceiling is his ceiling. I think we know what Sullivan is. I mean, plays half forward, rarely plays in the middle, but he just seems to do a job. Doesn't do much wrong, but he won't break the game open. He's not necessarily that guy. So that's why I probably say his ceiling isn't too far from where he is right now. And then on the other hand, you've got Will Hayes, who against North had a really good pressure game. And then against Melbourne, he was a little bit, under duress. He felt the stress of playing in front of whatever it was, 80,000, King's birthday clash, final game before the bye, for the Pies, obviously. It can overwhelm you as a younger player, but are we not in a position to give this kid a few more games, string a few more together? Is it not the same look that, all right, we can rest Brazzi, we can rest Jordan De Goey until they're right? Well, while that happens, why can't we wait for a Will Hayes? Why can't we get Will Hayes in and keep him in? This I don't hate me, but do so. Yeah. Why can't we keep Will Hayes in for a little bit longer? What's the risk? Okay. There's a chance he plays well. There's a chance he doesn't. But I don't think Will Hayes playing bad on Saturday night will play a massive role in how the game pans out. I think we've got enough quality and talent and experience that surround someone like Will Hayes to ensure that we can get the win. And I think, good or bad performance, Will Hayes, I think he would get a lot out of being a part of that game. That's why I'm probably leaning to keeping Will Hayes in for now and maybe dropping Sullivan. But I like them both. That's the problem. Metro boys, how you going? Manny, Yassel, mate. Mello, Melissa, I'm good. How are you? What's going on? Who's messaging me after hours? What's going on here? Okay. Stefanos, Daganis, what's happening? The Metro boys, this is unnecessary. Don't hate me, but Jesus died for us on the cross, spreading the gospel. Appreciate it. So, as we said, Fly has highlighted that Brazzi won't be available, so we're probably just going to make the one change. There's really not much else to it. Hopefully, moving forward, once the games get rolling, we'll have a bit more to talk about, but it's pretty plain and simple. Like I said in my preview, I just said, look, we want to get the win, want to stay healthy, just keep rolling through. But I mean, what are we, round 14 already or something like that. Something crazy. I can't believe it. Where does the time go? RJ, welcome, mate, welcome. We're gonna do the pre-game show tomorrow. So I'm gonna trial something where on a Saturday, I'm thinking for a Saturday night, for a Saturday game in general, I'm probably gonna try the Friday night. I wonder how that will be received. But we'll see anyways. Mick says, hope Titch gets named first clearances and just to see what he brings to the midfield mix. He brings us clearances for sure. He brings us contest. You could bring in a Tom Mitchell. So it could be like Tom Mitchell and Lipinski in, Hayes, Sullivan out. That's always something to keep in mind. But wouldn't you think if Tom Mitchell was to return, he would have been celebrated today already? Because he's been out for over a year. So it's a big milestone to check off, coming back to AFL footy after well beyond what? It's been 12 months at least, right? Since he's played his last AFL game. So I don't necessarily think Tom Mitchell will play, but I see the rationale behind that. Benny, what's going on? Howdy, everyone. Okay. Greatness. It'll be interesting to see if we drop either Hayes or Sullivan for Lipper. It's Sullivan. If it's Sullivan, I wonder what that could mean come end of season. RJ says we're looking good. Mick says Titch over Sully is a no-brainer. Greatness says Mitchell won't be in, didn't train fully. There you go. Boomer. What's happening? What's happening, Boomer lad? So we've got the teams coming out at 6:20. So we're going to be here for at least an hour. So, yeah. Do you guys, most of you guys in the chat already, you guys, I mean, not everyone works and everyone has, some are students and whatnot, but any of you like driving home from work or commuting home from work right now and taking public transport and listening to this excuse of a show at the moment? Boomer. Let's see what's cooking on Discord. Let's have a look-see. Does anybody want to jump on? On the train, Akila? Yep, that's you. Listening at the gym this time, bro. Home gym. Home gyms are tough, man. Home gyms are tough. I much prefer going to a commercial gym and just doing my thing there. Never had the motivation to train at home. Just driving home now, says Shane. Mick Ali says commuting to work, night shift tonight, staying warm in front of the heater. Memory could be the game breaker. Some players love to face their old team, says Nicholas. Yeah. I would love nothing more than for Tim Memory to have like 15 and 3 against his old side. It'd be nice. It'd be nice for him. Gonna get you through it. Nah, I got you. Got you, Benny. Got you, mate. Manny is in the Discord chat, so let's have a listen. Let me make sure I've got this all good to go.
Malaka.
Ella. File.
Hello. You guys are Malaka?
What are you eating?
I just ate some pizza before. Barbecue meat lovers.
Opa.
Yeah, and a couple pieces, bro.
Good stuff.
What are you doing, Malaka?
Nothing.
You're flat again. What are you so flat for, buddy? What are you so flat for?
Hey, I'm just calm. Calmness in the madness.
So the community. So everyone in the community.
Hello, yeah.
Start simmering now. Start simmering.
Is it time to warm up now? You reckon now's the time? Thursday, 5
Yeah,
this is it?
Yeah, just a little warm up. Just slightly, not too much. Just warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow, watch a shit game of football tonight. Like you said, Essendon's playing.
Fuck.
They're playing Fremantle, eh?
Yeah, in Perth.
What a malak. What a malak. Yeah.
Tough.
Oh, at least we at least we get to rest Bruzzy. That's how much of a good position we're in.
That's what it
Rest
is.
Bruzzy properly and getting fully fit.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, the umps have been spoken to at training today about Nick Dacos. About fucking time. We've been talking about it for the last month.
We'll see what happens. I mean, look, at the end of the day, like we've spoken about at length, it doesn't. We're 11-2. Like, what? Windhager tagged Bontempelli. The doggies won by 70 odd points. Well, what does it mean, anyways?
Yeah, I know, but we want to get it. We want to get it out there now before the finals start.
Yeah,
We don't want them stopping Nick, and we don't want them stopping Nick during the finals time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you put it out there now, they can keep an eye on it early.
Yeah. Well, Fly said he was quite distressed watching the game back.
Yeah, they've been watching the footage. Watch the footage. Fly should have said, yeah, I know two blokes called Anthony and Emmanuel, Manny Costo. They're fuming about it. Get the job done on him.
Well, if Bruzzy can't go through Windhager, who will?
Oh, well, Bo McCreary's out there. Someone's got to go through. I'll put side bottom. Anyone. Even Pendlebury. Just go through the rat. Enough's enough, mate. We don't get treated like imbeciles.
That's it.
You know what I reckon we've got to do? I was thinking about it before. I reckon if we can expose, I don't know if you watch St Kilda much, but if we can expose that Caminiti in defence with our forwards, or one of our forwards, expose that Caminiti, it should be easy work. He's putrid defender. If we can expose him, we're laughing.
Caminiti, you reckon, huh? He's the guy.
Oh, yeah. That's the game plan. If I was the coach, I'll be telling you, expose him. He's shocking, bro. Watch him play. I can't believe they're still playing. If we can expose Caminiti one-on-one, we're laughing. That's what the game plan has to be. Just expose Caminiti. He's shocking.
Yeah, but it doesn't look. It doesn't. The game's never narrowed down to one thing, though, right? True.
Yeah, I know that. But if you can kick 4 or 5 goals on him, if a forward can kick 4 or 5 goals on Caminiti, it goes a long way to winning the game, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He's all right, bro. He's all right. Caminiti.
Who's coming in, you reckon? Who's coming in?
I don't think it's going to be Tom Mitchell. We would have known by now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He might not get back in the side now.
I wouldn't count him out just yet, but he's always going to put his hand up. Like if something goes the other way, he's going to be in. You know.
Oh, if something goes wrong, he'll be in straight away. He's a depth player. He'll be straight in.
Yeah.
We don't want to think like that.
You don't want to what? Sorry.
What's in your big Greek drink bottle there? Takes up the whole screen. Your drink bottle. What's in there?
Raki.
Who's that?
Raki.
It's in there.
Rough, bro. I remember.
What are you doing?
At my papu used to have a hardware in Oakley, a hardware store. Yeah. And just before soccer training, I ran to the fridge to grab a bottle of water for training. It was in the back of the hardware store, and
you just put a bit of ouzo in there.
My first sip in between my warm up and my first drill at soccer training, I took the biggest gulp. I nearly died, bro. I thought someone had poisoned me. It was my papu's customer who always brings him raki or ouzo. Put it in there. Oh yeah. Sent me, bro. Sent me. Oh my dad.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's 100% avgas.
Bro,
petrol. That's 100% avgas. That's methanol.
Petrol. Oh my god.
Yeah, methanol. Methanol, bro. Methanol.
Cooked me.
Yeah. Where's you going to do a pre-game show on Fridays now?
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, for the Saturday game, right? I figured Saturday's a busy day for a lot of people. I'm like, why not?
And what?
Why not Friday night?
Yeah, but everyone's mellow. Everyone's going to be mellow 24 hours before the game, bro.
We'll see. We'll try.
You want to get,
but we're gonna get you one. We're gonna get you one, and then no one's gonna be mellow. You know.
You want to get people up and about before the game, then get people's reactions after the win or loss.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. The boys were training. I watched the video. The boys were training today. They looked all right. They looked sharp. What's his name? Super Luke took a video of training. They saw that house, that draftee house.
Yeah.
He took a scream on Howe. Eh, Jeremy Howe.
On
What a classic it is.
Noah Howe
Should have
took a
seen Jeremy
specky
Howe.
on Jeremy Howe.
Yeah, the drafty Howes took a specky on Jeremy Howe. Right, Jeremy Howe hits the ground, and Jeremy Howe gets up, and he was fucking peeking.
Was he fuming?
Oh, he was fuming because he got fucking one taken over his head. Fucking classic.
I think I saw this.
We should cover.
Hold on,
We should cover. We should cover. We should cover the defenders. They haven't got monsters down there. They've got medium tools playing. What else, Malaka?
Hold on. I'm gonna open up that because I saw it on Jen's Twitter actually. Where is it?
Yeah, Swoop took it as well.
I'd be surprised if here we go. 1 second. I'll share it. 1 second. I'll share it, guys. I'll share it. Give me 1 second, guys.
Took a scream on him.
Right. I'm gonna press play so you guys can see.
Noah Howe.
Watch Jeremy Howe get up there. What a classic. He's fucking losing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here he goes. Oh! look at Jeremy Howe. He's peaking. Watch him. Oh, he doesn't. That video doesn't show it perfectly. Swoop's video shows it from behind. Shows it from behind.
I'll have a look at it
See?
after. I'll have a look at it after.
Swoop shows it from behind.
Was he pissed?
He stayed down for a minute, but then Howes is looking at him, and then you can see Jeremy gets up, fixes his hat up, and then Houston walks up to him, and the Jeremy Howes just fucking fuming. He's peeking. It's like he's saying, I don't need this shit today.
I think
I don't need this shit at training today.
Maybe particularly in season, you're not allowed to do those things like take speckies, chase down tackles. You're not necessarily. You should.
Training.
Yeah.
Well, you reckon they're more cautious at training?
Oh no, 100%. I heard Pendle's talking about it in one of his. It's the, remember how Howie did the podcast with him. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
He talked about how these days, like, they don't do rundown tackles in training, and like they don't go through players. I would imagine, especially in season, I think you'd imagine no one's. I guess they're being told you can't take a specky on someone in case you hit the back of the head.
Yeah, lucky to give him fucking concussion. That's all we need for this week.
I know.
He didn't even go up to him to check on him.
He
didn't even go up to him to check on him. He just sat there and looked at him.
I'm going to try something. I've got Greatness in the chat as well. I'm going to unmute him, and we're going to have like a round table and see how it works. So Greatness, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I know you love going on a tangent sometimes. So what we'll do is we'll open a conversation to 3 people, and then we'll be able to like bounce off each other. Give me 1 second.
Go on. Can't talk over each other though.
Yeah, exact. Greatness, how you going?
Doing well.
Good man. We're gonna try a round table. Yep. Me, you, Manny. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
What's on the front of your mind?
I'm sorry. What's that?
What's on the front of your mind, Greatness? Talk to me.
Nothing at the moment. Just trying to obviously watch some great content. But I mean, one of the questions I did have in the chat was just kind of curious on the whole with obviously Lipinski has to come in. They've already confirmed he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of makes you think sort of who comes out sort of thing. So obviously Hayes is a bit of a because he's, basically like a kid and stuff, you'd think he goes back. But I think even if it's like a Sullivan that goes back, if they really want to give Hayes some games and stuff, I wouldn't even be surprised if they actually go down that route. And then if Sullivan's playing VFL, I feel like we're going to be really stiff with some players that might get cut at the end of the year. So if you have, a few people like that in the VFL, then you sort of question their future sort of thing.
All right. Well, let me ask the question to Manny, and then I'll ask you the question, Greatness, because we love the hard hitting questions. If it's Lipinski in, who comes out? Is it Sullivan or Hayes? And tell me why, Manny.
Yeah, it depends what kind of position player you're bringing out. Hayes is a small forward. Lipinski plays on the wing and in the middle sometimes. Depends if you want to take a small forward for pressure out of the side. If you take Hayes out, you're losing the pressure in the forward 50. If you want to take Hayes out, you've got to bring another forward in. You got to bring another small forward in. See? Otherwise, they're gonna waltz the ball out of our back out of our 50 forward 50. They're gonna waltz it out. If the ball hits the ground, they're gonna waltz it out of there. We need everyone got a small forward.
Greatness. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I probably wouldn't agree with that just because if you actually watch, I don't know, like draft is a lot different to the AFL as a whole, but in his draft year, he was a winger, and like that was basically what Lipinski is doing. Not obviously the centre down stuff, but being on the wing, like that was actually what he was doing. Like he was even, I know I've mentioned this a few times now, but when he was in his draft year, he had the best disposal efficiency of any winger in his draft. So we know he can kick the ball well. I think it's just more you sort of just need to throw him in the deep end a little bit, which we kind of have done. And I feel now that he's played what I believe 3 games.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, again, it's all like it depends on what the club's willing to back in because obviously with Sullivan, you're gonna have a guy that has what 20, 30 games under his belt, somewhere around there. But you've also got Hayes with the potential to be, as good as what Sullivan is, but then you've also got the potential of him being better than him as well. So the long term aspects is something we can't really delve right now, but is the how he currently is right now, is that worth paying the price, knowing that down the line that development's gonna suit him down the line at some point.
Yeah, no, ultimate. But who's got it? If we put Hayes on the wing, who plays the forward role? That's what I'm trying to ask. Who comes in and plays the forward role?
Sullivan can still do that, Manny.
Oh, yeah, but Sullivan as quick as Hazy?
No,
for the pressure?
that's what you're giving up pressure. Why? But look, for my opinion, I know Hayes played, like you said, Greatness. He played wing in the draft, but I don't think he's ready for the wing position right now at AFL
He's too
level.
small for the wing. He'll get monstered.
I think Hazy.
Yeah, which is where you'd have Lipinski on the wing, but like I think with Hayes, and we have seen Hayes has gotten ball around like the half back line, as he's like pushing up just like what Schultz does, and all these guys. So, I'm just sort of, especially now that he's gotten games, and I don't think he's done anything that's like, I don't think he's given Flight a reason for him to be dropped, even though he might be for all we know. But I'm just sort of curious. Like, are we backing in Hayes, or are we backing in Sullivan? I feel like this is a bit of a turning point in terms of which way we go because I feel like it can go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you can also use Sullivan if we get injuries in the middle. You can also put Sullivan in the middle. See, you can't put Hayes in the middle. He's too light a frame. So you got to weigh up the options. But both options sound right, anyways. But depends what you want for backup. See, if we get injuries in the middle, we can throw Sullivan in the middle. But if we can't throw Hayes in the middle, that's the problem. He'll get monstered.
What does your heart say there, Manny? What does your heart say?
My heart says he done okay. He done okay against Melbourne Hazy, apart from those tackles he copped because his body's light, his light frame still, but he still kicked the goal and he put the pressure on. I'll leave Hayes where he is. Give another game. And you know what I'll do? I'll let Hayes keep playing. I'll let Hayes keep playing until Schultz is back, and I'll just put Lipinski back on the wing. That's what I'll do.
Greatness.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know Schultz is coming back at some point, and as what we've already alluded to, like Hayes is obviously a kid still developing, but I think it does sort of it does sort of bring that conversation where it is like, yeah, do you back in the guy that's been there 20, 30 games and, does the role pretty well? Or, yeah, do you put your faith in the kid and have him, like, do you back him in? Like,
Exactly.
because I feel like with Fly, especially this year, I feel like that's been an area in previous years he hasn't been good at, and this year has been his. This has been the year where he's definitely improved that aspect of his game, which I've definitely loved. Like the fact that we're actually giving these kids a go, and then we're actually showing something. We're not just like once they don't show something, we're not throwing them back in the VFL. Like we seem to be backing them in just a bit more. So I think it's in the end, I think we'll probably go with the Sullivan, but it's just intriguing enough to where it's like I think we shouldn't be counting out Hayes as an option, like going down the line, just because his future is just too. Like
there's
the
a good,
future and the long term aspect of Hayes, it needs to build at some point. So do we do it now, or do we
Yeah.
wait till next season? Like it's going to happen at some point. So when is that going to happen?
there's a good chance
Yeah,
that
yeah, you're right, Grader. Sorry, Anthony.
yeah, I
The only,
know.
the only thing the only thing I'm worried about is because Schultz is showing this year that he's having bad luck and is injury prone. I'm just
Mhm.
worried that something might happen to Schultz before the finals start, and he's unavailable. At least if we're playing Hayes, we can slot him straight in and get him primed. See,
Absolutely.
because I'm worried about Schultz now because a few things have popped up with injuries and concussion and stuff. And it might just be one of those years for Schultz. Players have those years where they can't
Yeah.
can't put it on the park. So that's the only reason why I'm saying give as much time to Hazy just in case we need a small forward for the finals. Because when the finals come around, you know what the game's like. It's full blown pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also, especially if Hayes is standing up, it takes the stress off, Schultz to get back so quickly too. Because we know,
Exactly. But
when players rush back. Yeah.
might also put 5 kilos on in weight by the time the finals come around.
I don't know about fucking 5 kilos. You need to go to Daniel's Donuts every day until the final series, mate.
Yeah. He's going to come to your house, so they're making some Greek food.
What do you? I'll just feed him. I'll just feed him what you've been eating. You and your meat lovers.
What's your opinion?
I think. Look, you guys make both make great points. I think if there's ever been a great opportunity for a player who's probably not 100% AFL ready, I think it's now, due to our record, due to who's not available, due to who could be playing instead of Hayes, and that's Sullivan. I think what's the harm in playing Hayes for another 2 weeks? And you go, all right, is he going to learn quick enough to play to the level?
Exactly.
If not, then we bring in Sullivan. If not, maybe Jordan De Goey is available by then anyways. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. He plays forward as well. Yeah. Good point. I forgot about Geordie. Geordie's a monster in the forward line.
Yep.
Yeah.
The poll,
about him.
guys, is saying, I put a poll in, who stays in? So far, 60% say Hayes, 40% say Sullivan. It's only been up for 3 minutes, so we'll let that play out throughout the course.
All Hazy needs is a breakout game against St Kilda West Coast. Give him a breakout game. He kicks 2-3 goals, and then he gives him full-blown confidence. That's what some players need sometimes. Once they have a breakout game, they give him he has a breakout game, gets full-blown confidence, and he gets used to our system up forward. Because I've heard Bobby Hill talk about our system that our forwards they play a certain system. They can't switch over to different wings. But I've heard Bobby Hill talk about it. They've got to stay on one side of the field.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we've got depth anyway. So even like Anthony says, we've got Geordie De Goey waiting in the wings as well. So he's a good forward. He's a power forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of things.
What else, Alderman? What else, Alderman? What else are you worried about? What about exposing Caminiti? You watched him play?
Yes. I honestly, I thought he was questionable as a forward. And I'm even more questionable of him as a backman. So, also, I didn't even think he was. I think he was sort of, trying to think of the word and it's now escaping me at the moment. But yeah, I didn't think he was like a full-time AFL like forward, and I think he's even less of a defender. So
Oh, he's
I'm
shocking.
surprised I'm surprised he's even in the league, to be honest. Yeah,
Exactly.
no,
So
when you said that, I completely agreed.
all right, so give me our best tall forward out of the Triple M's. Give me the best tall forward out of Membry, McStay, and Mychek, who can expose him one-on-one the best. On the lead,
McStay,
and yeah. You reckon
McStay,
McStay can expose him?
yeah,
What do you reckon, Anthony?
if it's just a one-on-one matchup, then in
One
terms
on
of
one, I
yeah,
think McStay can definitely work him off. Any of them, give him a cocktail of all three. You see what happens. A triple M
Yeah.
cocktail. You know what I mean?
It's all over.
yeah. Because
What
how
about
tall is he? Is he over 196?
He's quite tall, Cameron.
No, he's quite tall, but he hasn't got the smart. He gets lost.
Yeah.
He gets lost. He hasn't got the smart, so he gets
I don't
lost
think
in
he
the
has. I
contest.
don't think he has the frame either. Like he's got a very
Exactly.
thin frame as well. Yeah.
Exactly, and also he gets beaten on the lead. He doesn't know when to hold back shoulder. So the forwards can expose him. If we can get 4-5 goals kicked on him, we're laughing.
Yeah.
I've got Mello in the chat. He says Lyon outcoached McRae last year, and then Aquila says McRae's a better coach than last year. I feel he's learned from the mistakes of last year. So I think that's a really good point, and it'd just be another feather in the cap for Fly if he can overcome whatever Ross throws his way. Because Ross has had his ways in some games against us over recent years.
Yeah, I feel like Saints have sort of low key been a bit of a bogey side in a sense too. Because Saints have had some wins over us in recent times. I still feel like obviously we're the better side and stuff, but I think our previous records that. Oh no, definitely not.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, like every team has their 3 to 4 teams where for just no reason or no for just no. Now I lost my train of thought. But for no actual reason, they just can't find a way to beat these teams. And St Kilda is around that sort of like area where it's like obviously they're not playing finals, they're not going to be making any dents when it comes to the business end of the season. But for some reason, they seem to take out a few of the. I mean, even at the start of the year, I mean, they took out Geelong. Like,
every team seems to play the grand final against us. Every team that plays Collingwood, you can see them. They play their best football, man.
Yeah.
Antonio, what do you reckon?
What's the question? What's the specific question? There was a lot there to unpack.
Does every team play their best football against Collingwood?
I mean, the rest of the crowd aren't going to like to hear it, but that's the reality of it. They're going to get a crowd. They're 20,000 last week. We're going to get double that this week.
It's our home game as well. So if they're getting 13,000 now at a Bulldogs match, it's our home game. We should outnumber them by 7-1.
Yeah. We'll see. All right, lads, I'm going to bring Kynan in. I'll leave you guys with it. Thanks for jumping on.
All right, see you, Alderman. See you, buddy.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
See you, boys.
All right. Kynan.
Oh, what's up, lad?
What's going on, bruv? You just sound like you just woke up. What's wrong?
Nah, I had a bit of a midweek drinky.
Oh.
I had too many.
Oh dear. I thought maybe you woke up from hibernation after during our bye.
I actually bought double strengths and had nearly 20 of them last night.
Hey. Nice.
Holy shit.
Were you watching the grand final replay, or what were you doing?
I was watching something. I can't remember what it was, but...
Damn. Crazy.
Yeah, I had a day off today, so I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I had a drink.
Yeah. Well, I got a remedy for you, and that's the game on Saturday.
True. Yeah. That'll pipe me up. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Wait. Have you moved the magnets yet? Or
no, we've got another 14 minutes till the teams come out.
All right. Yeah. Cool. I mean, hey. Well, Bruzzy's out. He's not in he didn't get confirmed, but Lipinski's in. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like him coming back in is actually. I feel like we missed him last week a bit, and I hate to say that because I've been bagging him out the past few weeks, but I think we did.
He'll be welcome back with open arms, that's for sure. We'll see how he goes. What about did
If
you hear
he-
the
if he-
Hayes and Sullivan
if he-
conversation?
I think I just came in after that finished, but you said who will stay in? I reckon Sully will. I think Hayes needs to put a bit of bulk on, I reckon. But he'll be good other than that.
Yeah.
He's already nuts, but he's just real small. I think if he puts a bit of muscle on, he'll be good.
Yeah, Manny reckons he's going to put 5 kilos on between now and the final series. I said, mate, he's going to have to go to Daniel's Donuts quite a bit till then.
Yeah, he's gonna have to eat a few steaks every day.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean what D Max back in. So are we going full triple M?
Full Triple M, brother. At least it seems. I mean, unless Fly pulls out the management card, I can't see anyone getting managed after a bye anyway, so we'll see.
Yeah, 2 weeks off pretty well.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone should be injured or hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the poll saying? It's still 50. It's like 50-50. It's really torn. 54-46. Sullivan in favour. You can make a really good case for both, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hayes is still. Oh, he's 19, isn't he? 19.
Yeah.
I think he's 19,
yeah,
right?
First year out of.
He's so young. Like, it doesn't matter if he's not getting heaps of game time. He's already debuted, and as a 19-year-old, fuck man, that's
Good.
pretty good.
Of course.
Yeah, and
Of course.
even if he's just getting a few games in here and there with Pendlebury and Sidebottom and Crisp, and as long as he's getting those games every now and then and learning from the masters, you're laughing.
I think just play. I reckon just from Hayes' perspective, from that angle, I think just play him. We got St Kilda, we got West Coast. I'll tell you this, Kynan, we're not going to lose against them because of Will Hayes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like we lose, it's not on Will Hayes, is it?
Nah, there's only so much Will Hayes can do.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and it's not like he's below average. I would say he's pretty average AFL right now. If he puts on a few kilos, and he's a bit harder to tackle and a bit harder to, and he gets that experience with knowing how far he has to kick a ball and how close he can let people get to him before he has to pass it off. He'll be way better once he learns those simple things.
Dummy reckons Hayes needs to put 15 kgs on before he'll impact the game. Mate, if he puts on another 15 kilos, he'll be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, bloody
he'll be
hell,
able to
man.
run.
You know how much 15 kilo of
It's a
muscle
lot.
is? You know how much that is?
It's a lot, yeah.
That's a shitload, man.
Peter says, I'll be surprised if Titch doesn't play. Bloke's played very well in 4 VFL games now. Greatness said that he didn't fully train today, but also what the telltale giveaway is that they didn't really announce him at training because he's been out for a year. When he plays his return AFL game, they'll celebrate his return.
There'll be a full video.
Yeah.
On Instagram of them recording that he's going to play again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, I'd like to see Mitchell in, but it's the whole argument of who the hell comes out for him.
Yeah, and if you bring him in for like a Hayes or a Sullivan, you are giving up a lot of pace on the outside, aren't you?
But you're exchanging that for confidence around the ball, accurate kicking, and experience.
Yeah. Blacks in the chat, really good question here, and I'll start with this. What do you think of Bobby Hill's season so far? So, I actually think he's been really good. I think our biggest issue or issues with Bobby last year was 2 things. His lack of selfishness.
Confidence.
Yeah, he was too selfless, and his accuracy in front of goal was a massive far cry from what we saw from him in 2023. Since then, though, like this season, I don't know if he's going to reach the pinnacle of all Australian numbers, but he's doing everything we need.
Yeah, I agree. I hate how selfless he can be at times, but you can't knock him for it.
Yeah.
He sets up so many goals for people, and without that, like they even said it at training. Bobby just I can't remember exactly who it was. I think it was Jeremy Howe that said to him. He said, "You're everything that everyone wants to be.
Yep.
This is the selfless player that helps everyone
And can put bums on seats and put them.
to do both.
Yeah,
And
get
help
them to-
players and also kick ridiculous goals.
Yep.
Like a drop punt facing the boundary from the pocket, like
Anzac Day.
and he gets a goal like that. It's fucking like he can do crazy shit when he backs himself, but I don't like he didn't do that last year, and that was the issue that we had was that he would always pass it off, even when he was like 30 out directly in front, he would still pass it off,
Yeah.
and it's like, mate, you could kick those with your eyes closed. Why are you passing that off?
Yep.
And it was weird.
Another thing that I'm finding with Bobby this year is more so than the seasons gone by is he has found a way to have an impact on a game even when he doesn't have a big game. So if you remember that game against Essendon, up until that moment, he hadn't done anything in that game.
A lot,
And,
yeah.
And that third quarter, that goal and that quarter, I remember he took like a really good intercept mark that sort of slingshot us forward for a goal. I think that's a really good testament for Bobby or for Bobby. Just the perseverance and finding ways to get involved in the game and have a really strong quarter that turns the tide.
Yeah, even if he has those 1 quarter games, the shit he does off ball, he's like Schultz. The shit he does off the ball is second to none.
Yep.
Same with Darcy Moore. Like he hasn't been having a real high stats season, but just the past few the weeks before he got injured, he was playing well. He was playing he didn't have a lot of numbers, but his body work was good, his defending was good, and the same with Frampton. But his numbers have been crazy this year. I don't know what he did, man, but Frampton has been a godsend this year.
The great man. And
it's weird to say that, hey.
No one could foresee this. No one could foresee this.
Yeah, no one expected it.
Dom says Will Hayes weighs 73 kgs. 15 kg makes him 88. Why is 15 kg too much? It's too heavy for his size. Jordan De Goey, Brayden Maynard, they're like 6'2", right? And they wouldn't be any more than 91, 92, 90, 93 kilos max. Pendlebury, 90 kilos. So he would, I think Will Hayes, his playing weight should be around, let me just check, hold on.
I would say about 78, 80. If he wants to be a bit bigger.
What's his height in centimeters? And I'll tell you. Yeah, I'd say 78, 79, 80 kgs max at the peak of his powers.
That's if he wants to be a bigger bloke as well.
Yep.
But do you want to bulk him up on muscle, or do you just want him to be that lean, quick, fast runner up the wing?
The question is, genetically, can he put on muscle? I mean, look at Hoskin Elliott. I'm sure if you tried to get Hoskin Elliott to put on muscle, it wouldn't look so good as it would on a Geordie De Goey or Brayden Maynard. All these players, they're putting muscle in different ways.
I met Will Hoskin Elliott in person, man. He's got a sleeper build.
You reckon?
You can't tell, but he's got I saw him in person. I got a photo with him and shit. He's got a sleeper build, man.
Do you reckon?
Doesn't look it on camera, but in person, he's a lot bigger than he looks on camera.
Do you reckon?
And I'm a big bloke. I'm 6'4", 120 kilo.
You're saying this man's got pipes?
Well, they don't look like pipes on screen, but in person, he's a bit bigger than he looks on TV. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he's tall, maybe taller than what you think he is, but I'm trying to pick up what you're putting down, brother. You know.
That was when he was young, but
have a look at that. Look at that.
2019, 6 years ago. Hey, that's still pretty decent muscle for the way he plays. That's when he was younger, though. Let's be real.
Anyhow,
I didn't say he was huge. I said he was bigger than you think.
All right. I'll let you have it.
Same with Darcy Cameron, man. Met him in person. I was like, fuck me, you're a giant.
Yeah, of course. That makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, no, but nah, dead ass though. He's big. He's bigger than you think. He's not huge, but he's bigger than you think.
Manny says he doesn't go anywhere near the gym.
Yeah, he probably doesn't, but he's still bigger than you think.
Yeah.
Like he looks small, but he's quite big.
Yep. What's
But
going on?
I reckon that'll.
Greatness.
I think that's. How long do we think Geordie is out for? How long?
Saying.
When's he come back? You reckon?
Another 2 to 4 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks, I'd say.
So we're thinking what, around 18, 19 maybe?
Yeah, you'd want to hope that he could get 4 or 5 games in before the final series.
Yeah.
That's
Get a little bit of match fitness before the finals.
Yeah. Lipper has decent muscle for
Yeah,
someone who's running well. Fair play. Fair call.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. You do want him to have a few games before the finals. You don't just want to chuck him dead in the finals and have him having no game experience for 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I reckon you want to bring him back maximum round at like 19.
That's true. All right, Conan.
That's probably the max you would go. Yeah.
I've got to roll it, brother.
Easy, Anth.
All right. Take
Enjoy.
care.
I'm going to go lay down because I feel sick as shit.
All right. Rest up, my man. All right. Southeast Wolf says, I think people's expectations are super high on Bobby after his 2023 grand final game. Of course, when you have a performance like that, it sort of unearths the talent and the level he could play at, not consistently, but more than what he has in the past. He's playing his role in the team this year, but watch out, Bobby in the big moments is a match winner. He's been really good this year. He's already been, I would say he's having a better season than last year so far, for sure. Excited Lipper is back. He's a huge piece in our side. That was obvious against Theresa. Yeah, we missed him for sure. We also missed a lot in the contest. Ben Zero says, all Finnish legends. I've got to say, you could have spotted me a bit more. Haha, love yous. Thanks to... all good, mate. All good. Glad we could get you through some bench press reps. Apparently, there was 8 PBs broken in the Collingwood gym yesterday, so whatever that means, huh? Anyways, let's open up afl.com.au and let's have a look at the teams. Let's go bang. All right. Team lineups. Still nothing. So this is what we do. We do the rotation. We go Collingwood. We go to see anything's here. Nothing here. Latest news. Allow. What time is this? 2:23. We already saw this. He's a new whipping boy, Lipper. Reef went well on the bench press, evidently. Yeah. 135? Solid. Very solid. And he'd only be like 90 kilos. So that's a pretty, relatively speaking to his body weight, that's a really good turn. Josh Gabelick said the club's plan is to give DeGoey some VFL time. It's not much of a shock to hear that, to be honest. All right, there we have it. Lipinski in, William Hayes out. So unfortunate for him, but he'll go back to VFL and do his thing, which means Lockie Sullivan keeps his spot. And Sullivan is where? Is he listed? On the field, okay. So Sullivan is listed, which means he won't be a sub. So that could spell substitute for Ed Allen. I don't think Lipinski will be the sub. I don't think after the impact that Hoskin Elliott had against the D's will be a sub. I think Ed Allen might be due for a stint with the bib. Tom Mitchell, emergency. Steen, emergency. Will Hayes, emergency. They've got Tyroo coming in. Is he going to play forward? Or is he coming off the bench? Let's see. No, they've got him fielded, so he'll start. Philippou in, Wilson in, Burns and Carroll and Jones out. I think that'd be a dropping, an omission for Zach Jones. There we have it. They've got Keeler listed in the back line. I wonder if that's actually going to happen. I'm pretty sure Keeler's been playing a bit forward. But look, on paper, guys, we really should be comfortable with this, but you just don't know. Against a Ross Lyon coach side, you don't know what he's going to throw at us. And they've got some excitement. They've got some excitement about this game. Tyroo, Collingwood, Marvel, be near on sold out. Lipper is one of the best kicks inside 50 in the comp. We saw that against Hawthorn, didn't we? Sullivan makes good decisions usually. Yes, this is true. Ben Zero, a lot of respect for Lipper. Just want him to go in a little bit more often. I think that's what we're concerned about, isn't it, Ben? Like we're not against Lipper. We know he brings a really good offensive side to the Collingwood game. His problem at times is his contest work. So that's all it is. Cameron is forward as well, swapping with Keeler. Okay. That could be happening. I wonder who Wilkie will play on. I think Wilkie might play on... I'd like to see Wilkie on a Jamie Elliott. That would be a great matchup. What else do we have team news-wise? Let's have a look. Geelong and Brisbane. This will be a game of interest, won't it? Henry in, DeConing out injured, Stengel 100th game, and Paddy Dangerfield 350. Wowee. They're doing a whiteout game or something like that. Jack Payne out for the season with a ruptured patella tendon, which is unfortunate, but it does kind of help teams around the mark that will go against them in the final series. Any other games that sort of matter? Let's have a look at this. What's going on here? There, extended teams would be here. Sam Taylor. What's Sam Taylor done? Brent Daniels. Brent Daniels out again. Really? Okay. Interesting. Curnow? Is Curnow in? Blues make Curnow call, so I imagine he'd be in. Goulden back in. Not that matters. They're just making up the numbers at this point. Is Curnow in? Curnow stays in. Okay, there we go. Chris Talbot. Hey, Anthony. How you doing? I hope you are doing well. Ed Allen sub. Go Pies. I think so, mate. I think so. All right. I think I'm going to call it there, guys. Thank you all for sticking around, and we will be back tomorrow for the pregame show. So we're going to do that a day earlier. For the Saturday games, I'm going to try a Friday night pregame show. We'll just see how it goes, and we'll go from there. Thanks for sticking around.